So, it's 2021, and you ended up getting a copy of Sword and Shield and a Switch somehow throughout this pandemic, whether it's for a birthday, a wedding gift, or a divorce settlement. You and little Timmy want to get on Pokemon and start getting all the craziest Pokemon in the planet. Shinies, uh, perfectly trained Pokemon, VGC ready Pokemon, battle ready Pokemon, all the items in the world. Well, my friend, you've come to the right place. Today I'm going to show you guys how to use PKHeX in 2021 for beginners like me and normal people. So, first things first, you gotta do a bunch of stuff. You gotta do some stuff with your Switch. First and foremost, I'm not really gonna show that because, yeah, we might have a strike issue with YouTube in regards to showing that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna show you guys when you upload the file onto your PKHeX through egregious means. So I'm not really gonna showcase that, but I uploaded just a sample file of my current Pokemon, my up-to-date Sword Shield file. If you guys want to learn more about doing that kind of stuff, how to get your file converted into PKHeX, there's a bunch of tutorials online. I suggest looking into that first. Me personally, I cannot show it, so that's my first and only warning. So, what is PKHeX? Pretty much, you can gen anything you want. You can get whatever you want, essentially. Any mystery gift, cool, you can get it. Any Pokemon you want to get shiny or not, whether it's legal, perfect. You come to the right place. So, first and foremost, you have a couple things you have here in tabs. You got the main, which is pretty much the Pokemon. Basically, it's the let's say you want to drag a Pokemon out here. Let's say this Scorbunny, right? In the main tab, you got a Met, which is basically the origin of the Pokemon, where it came from. The stats, which is generally not numbered in the game, but these are the actual calculated stats of a Pokemon in the game, along with its natures and contest stats if it actually came from, the contest eras of Pokemon. And you got the attacks and the movesets and relearn moves for egg Pokemon, and then you have the OT and miscellaneous stuff, such as the markings, memories, ribbons if it has any, and then you have the OT, the original trainer, the handler, and the current trainer information. So, in file, this is where you get your file, you export it, save it, whatever you want. Tools is pretty important, and I'll go over that for quickly, but you can import sets from Pokemon Showdown. If you care about legality and whether the EVs are correctly lined up, good for you. You got data here with mystery gift database, very important here. This stuff is not really that needed. Dumping boxes, unless you have multiple Pokemon, you just want to dump it to a file at once, but you gotta be very careful because data might be overwritten. And there's batch editors as well. And then your options, languages, all that, yeah, whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. So first and foremost, let's say you just got your Scorbunny from an egg, and this one actually happens to be from an egg. My recommendation is, if you want to create a new Pokemon from scratch, I suggest using a template of a Pokemon you already have. For example, you want a shiny Obstagoon? Boom, congratulations, you just got yourself a shiny Obstagoon. Something like that. A Pokemon data that already exists in your game will be sufficient enough to get whatever you want. But now, for example, let's say for Scorbunny, you want it shiny, you want to max IVs and all that. All right, and let's say it's a Scorbunny now because you are a lazy little Timmy and don't want to train your Pokemon all the way to level 100. Perfect. So, first things first, you have the star button here, and if you want to make any Pokemon shiny, you're gonna click on it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And there it is. It's shiny. You can clearly tell because it has the red star right on top of it. If you want to get rid of the shiny of a Pokemon, simply re-roll its PID, which is the Pokemon identification number, and it gets rid of it. But for now, we're going to keep it like that. Species is a type of Pokemon. What Pokemon is it? Now, let's say you want a Cinderace. Type the name in. Beautiful. Cinderace is perfect. But you have an error here. Now, this little thing right here is called a Legality Checker. It will determine whether or not a Pokemon is legal or not. And obviously, I just changed the species of Pokemon to Cinderace because I want a Cinderace. But unfortunately, it has not met the evolution status. So, very important for this here. The level or trait evolution unsatisfied, and we'll get to that very quickly. Nickname, if you want to change it to Messi, perfect. You can change whatever you want. XP, I wouldn't really change XP because as you change the level, so let's say it's level 100, the XP will change as well. Now, if you click on this right here to check the legality of the Pokemon, because it's level 100, you cannot legally have a level 1 Cinderace because it's impossible. As long as you change the 100, as long as you change the level, I should say, from anywhere above 36 or above, it will be legal. So click on the legality checker, and believe me, this will be your best friend. Whatever Pokemon you think might be something wrong with it or something you want to make sure it's 100% legal, you can use in trade and battle, online, your best friend. So it's legal so far. Let's say you want a Jolly Nature. Cool, I want a Jolly Nature. You can scroll down, put Jolly. That's just the nature. And then there's stat nature because, you know, mints exist in this world or in this generation. I would just put both Jolly if you're that kind of person. Held item. Let's say you want it choice band because you don't care about heavy duty boots. Perfect. Ability. You want to change its hidden ability? Go for it. Libero. Sometimes the legality checker will tell you something is wrong because usually Pokemon that come from eggs. Now you can see here as you scroll over the Score Bunny stats is level 1, meaning that it came from an egg. I prefer using Pokemon that came from eggs for hidden abilities because there's a good chance that or there's a 100% chance any template of a egg Pokemon or a Pokemon that came from an egg can have its hidden ability. We'll guarantee it. Unless it's some Pokemon from a different generation, it's not allowed to have an ability, depending on generations, because hidden abilities were introduced in Generation 5 and beyond. So always be careful with hidden abilities. Make sure it's legal. Again, I would always click on the check mark or the red exclamation point just to make sure everything's okay. Friendship. I don't really mess with friendship. Because return and frustration do not exist in this game, I don't really think friendship is all that important. You can get friendship very easily just by walking around or, you know, getting your Pokemon into battle. Just simple as that. Language. You care about the language of the Pokemon. You want it to be, what's messy is Hispanic, I guess. Plus Espanol, whatever. Here is actually pretty cool stuff. If you want to come from an egg, that's whatever, but obviously it has to be a baby Pokemon or a level 1 Pokemon that's legal. Is infected pretty much means it's Pokerus. And obviously it has, because I clicked the is egg thing, I have to change the met condition, so don't do that. Infected and cured means the Pokerus that it has. So obviously we messed up the met location because we said it was a egg and all that stuff, so this is just for Pokerus if you care about that. If it's infected, if you want to spread it, just put infected. If cured, it's going to have like a smiley face in the game. So next up we have is the met tab. So I want to check my for a while. Okay, perfect. We're recording. So met is basically the information of where the Pokemon came from. Obviously Cinderace comes from Sword. Battle version doesn't really matter. I would just leave this alone because it there really isn't a battle version in any Pokemon game. It's just the orange game suffices it just because. Met location. Let's say it came from an egg. If egg Pokemon can come from anywhere. As long as it's hatched, it could be hatched at that place. More than likely, it can hatch anywhere you want. Armor station. Good. Let's just do that. Met in the Pokeball. Now, in Cinderace's case, it can only come from a Pokeball. If you decide to change Pokeballs, it might be illegal. Yeah, it can't have the ball because Cinderace is technically a starter Pokemon, so all starter Pokemon from Generation 8. Sobble, Scorbunny, Grookey, they have to have Pokeball. Any other Pokemon that can have Pokeballs, that'd be perfectly fine. Met level 1. Just leave it like that. Met date, you can change the date whatever you want. This one says 2000, which is very weird. You can put today's date if you want, if you care, and there you go. It's still legal. As egg, yes, because technically as level 1, you met it as an egg. Pretty much. Met conditions, it has a nursery worker, and you can put today's date and all that stuff. Home tracker, this is the identification of a number that goes through home. I would not touch this at all. Simple as that. Now we go on to the stats. Now little Timmy wants to have his Pokemon beefy, well, ready to kick ass in battle. You want max IVs? Go for it. 31. 31 is the cap you can have in Pokemon. Booyah, boo shakalaka. There you go. Let's say little Timmy wants to have max attack and max speed. Rule of thumb is 252 is the max amount of EVs or experience values that a Pokemon can have. It's 252 maxed out per stat, and you can only have, I believe, if I make this into, let's say, put the remaining in 4, technically it would be 6. You can have 510 capped total EVs on a Pokemon. So as long as this is green, you should be okay. If you put too many IVs, or EVs I should say, it's going to give you this red indicator saying, well, you have too many. So the rule of thumb is you can have 510. Simple as that. Dynamax level. Yeah, you can have a Dynamax level. You can put a level 10, and you can be Gigantamaxed here. Now, the reason why this did not become illegal is because starting from the Aloe Armor DLC, you can put a Gigantamax soup and all that, whatever it's called, on the Pokemon. Max soup, I should say, on the Pokemon. It can possess Gigantamax if you want, if you care about that. You can do it with any Pokemon as long as it's able to Gigantamax. Simple as that. Attacks. Let's say this is going to be a battle-ready Pokemon. Obviously, it can learn Pyro Ball. Why not? And let's say U-Turn. U-Turn is a TM. Let's give it Gunk Shot. And we're going to give it High Jump Kick, because High Jump Kick is an egg move. So you can max out the PP, which is the amount of moves it has per move slot. Now you see Gunk Shot, it can learn Gunk Shot. But sometimes you'll wonder, wait, a Pokemon like Cinderace is able to learn Gunk Shot, so what's the problem? Gunk Shot is a technical record in Generation 8. So what you can do is hit the technical records button right here, and you can go all the way down till you find Gunk Shot. I don't recall Gunk Shot's I don't recall the number of Gunk Shot here, so it's gonna take a while. I suggest like learning this stuff as you go more in depth about this. I can't find Gunk Shot for some reason, but I will browse through this very, very slowly. It's very important to understand TMs and TRs. They're two completely different things when it comes to PKHeX and all that good stuff, because they're two different things. So here's Gunk Shot. It's a TR. As you can see, TR Relearn Editor. Check this to ensure Cinderace can properly learn Gunk Shot. You could put Give All, but don't do that because it might be illegal on Pokemon, except for Mew, as Mew can learn every single move in the world. I would put Save, and voila, now you got the exclamation point gone there. So beautiful, legal, nice. Now you got the OT and miscellaneous. You got the SID. I rather you you don't want to touch this. I think this doesn't change anything. If you care about the OT, go for it. So there's two different types of OT. There's the latest handler and the original trainer information. This is the original trainer information. This is gonna appear on your game. This is just which trainer is currently possessing this Pokemon. I possess it, of course, but I don't have this Pokemon possessed originally by me. It was from someone else. If you care about the the OT, I'm gonna give Central. It'd still be legal. You change the gender and all that good stuff. Markings. Galarian Pokemon tend to have this mark here. The marking here, this means shiny. If you care about ribbons, go for it. I suggest not giving it ribbons because ribbons are very, very like borderline, kind of confusing. If you really, really care about ribbons, I should just looking this up on Cerebi to see which ones you can technically get. Let's say you're Galar Champion. Perfect. Legal, because it's a Galarian ribbon. Memories are oftentimes Pokemon that, or it's usually with Pokemon that depend on how they remember you as. I don't really have a good explanation of this because memory is just very confusing. But as long as your memory matches up with the Pokemon, then you should be perfectly fine. I wouldn't touch this in any way or form. And there you go. You completely have a new battle-ready Pokemon, but before you want to move this onto your file, make sure you drag it, replace your score bunny. Perfect. Beautiful. And remember to check the legality Legality Checker. Very important. All right. Next up, we have our mystery gift Pokemon you cannot normally obtain in game. Let's say we want a Magearna from Pokemon Home. Perfect. You go here from Tools. You're gonna go to Data, and then you're gonna go to Mystery Gift Database. And this shows you every single Pokemon that has been given via mystery gift or internet code Now you might be wondering why there are multiple Pokemon. One, it could be from different years. Two, they can be distributed from different regions or languages depending on the situation at hand. And what's really cool is that you can do a bunch of stuff here. Now I'm gonna show you guys. I'm probably gonna put it right here so you guys can see. So let's say you want Magearna. I suggest scrolling all the way down. Magearna is like usually dead last. We see all these Pokemon here. We got the Zeraora event. We got Melmetal. We got Shiny Zeraora from Pokemon Home. Let's say you want original Home Magearna. What you can do is right-click this and then put View. As you put View, you X this out. Perfect. Now you have a Magearna. Now you want to keep it original. Make sure it's legal. Perfect. If you want to mod it, be very careful because sometimes Pokemon such as Magearna have fixed IVs that you cannot change. Because let's say the speed comes out 0 because that's how it was intended to be. But if you change it, you'll have a problem. Say that IVs do not match mystery gift data. So don't mess with the Pokemon originally. I suggest you can change the nature because of mints, but do not change IVs. I'd recommend either bottle capping it in the game or just change its EVs. Simple as that. Now you can drag Pokemon from mystery gift to your box, and voila. Let's say next up, the biggest things we have is the party battle box. If you care about Pokemon, you want to put them in your party instead. Voila. If you want to edit a Pokemon, simply you can drag it out from the party to the box, and you can do your magic, make it shiny, put it back as long as it's legal. Beautiful. You got Daycare Pokemon, of course, and then you have fused Pokemon. Now, there are multiple daycares in. You gotta remember in Generation 8, there are multiple daycares. So, I was trying to get a Intimidate Incineroar, and I don't know what this is here. I don't know what I was trying to do here. But you can put multiple Pokemon in daycares. This is fused Pokemon like Kyurem, Necrozma. Simple as that. Save file. So this is really cool here. These two I really wouldn't want to. I wouldn't recommend you guys touching this simply because this is pretty much is what's keeping the game intact. Save it has been edited. Cannot integrity check. Yeah, I wouldn't check that. This will tell you whether there's edit on your save file. There's save data box, export all boxes. If you care about importing your save file, this essentially will import your save from your box data to a different file. I wouldn't do it because don't do that. You're more likely to be prone. And pretty much what I'm trying to tell you is that if you don't know what you're doing and you implement changes, it's more likely you're going to be prone to legality issues. So I would just not touch that. You got block data. It doesn't really matter too much here. Nothing, not really much, unless you're a sciencey, computer science type of guy. Wouldn't really touch this. Box layout. So each of these boxes, of course, the layout has the name, the wallpaper in case you want to change it. If you care about that kind of stuff, that's pretty much what a box layout. But you can pretty much do this in your game. So I wouldn't recommend doing this on PKHeX. Because you can do it manually in your game, and it's very efficient on game anyways, so there's that. Next up, you got items. Now, little Timmy here wants to have 999 items of everything, or 995. Key items. Do not touch key items. I really recommend getting key items naturally in the game, especially Shiny Charm, because if you have a Shiny Charm before completing your Pokedex, Game Freak or whoever is in charge of checking game save states, they might get you banned. So I recommend getting these key items naturally. Play the game, at least. We got candy. Or food, I guess. Food from different wild areas and all that. You want 999 stuff, just put 999. Simple as that. And 999. If you haven't gotten an item, or you want to put new, you got it new recently, you can do that. Check this. Favorite means the star next to it. You want to care about that favorite. We have items. Oh, this is really cool. So for treasures, let's say you want to get items you want to make a ton of Pokedollars by selling items. Big nuggets are pretty expensive. I believe they're 20,000. There you go. You just got yourself a couple million Pokedollars right there. TMs they're only one TM because in this generation TMs are now infinite use, so they're count as one. TRs, you can have multiple of them. So if you want 100 of these or 90 of them, you can change that. TRs, in summary, you can change the count, but TMs, technical machines, I would suggest putting them at 1. You can find them naturally in the game. I suggest looking at Cerebi if you want to track down all the TMs, so that way you guys can have it for your own. That way you don't have to ask other people to put TMs on your Pokemon. Items. Now this is the actual items that you care about. Ability Capsule, I have 999 because it's very useful. Ability Patch, it changes ability from regular to hidden. You can change that as well. Any item you can possibly think of. Let's say you... do I have a metronome here? I have a metronome here. So let's say I only have one metronome, you want 10. Perfect, just type in the number 10. We also have the calcium, protein, the vitamins Pokemon. You can buy them in bulk now, so it doesn't really matter if you care about that or not. You can spend money. Berries. We have these in-battle items. We got Pokeballs. For these, you can manipulate the number. Doesn't really matter too much. Then you got medicine. You can manipulate these as well because they're not key items. So you got all the items you want. Perfect. Beautiful. Next up we have is Pokedex. Now, I'm not a really big fan of this Pokedex. I really suggest getting Pokemon through the GTS or trading and all. Because of the DLC, you should be able to complete your Pokedexes very quickly. And if you have Pokemon Home and you have a massive like living dex, you'll be able to finish your dex in no time. I don't recommend touching this at all because again, the more unknowingly changes you do, you might get yourself in legality issues. So I would not recommend it. There's male, female, shiny male, shiny female of all Pokemon. You can choose whatever Pokemon you want, and yeah, it will tell you like, hey, what kind of Pokemon do you have and all that stuff. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't recommend just touching this for beginners. Simple as that. It tells you how many Pokemon you've battled, whether it's shiny, if you caught it or not in shiny, Gigantamax if it has a form, like for example Rillaboom. I don't have a Gigantamax version. I have one owned and Gigantamax and all that stuff. Owned is pretty much what's gonna get you Pokedex completion. But I will not, like I said, will not touch this. I strongly recommend you just doing it on a regular, rather through GTS and all that. But if you're curious, pretty much the O series is the original 400 in the Pokedex. Then you have R1, which is essentially the DLC 1 Pokedex, because remember there's 3 Pokedexes in this game, and R2 is pretty much the the Crown Tundra Pokedex. So really, really cool stuff. Again, I would not recommend touching this. Next up we have is raids. You cannot have God eggs anymore, no illegal raids, because Game Freak will basically block that. They patched it, so you can't really do that. But this is pretty cool because let's say you want to know what kind of den you have in your game. Let's say den 93, and I would recommend using max raid den maps or like Cerebi to tell you what raids it is. It tells you the seed, the stars, whether it's a level 4 difficulty or level 5, random rolls and all that good stuff. This pretty much will tell you whether or not if it's an event, if the watts has been harvested yet, is there wishing pieces been used yet, is it rare and all that cool stuff. So it pretty much tells you what kind of den you have. And as you keep clicking different dens. Now you can technically modify these if you can, but I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you're trying to do like giveaways and all that. And I'll probably make a separate video about that. I'm not really a big fan of manipulating stuff that I have no interest in doing so whatsoever. Again, it's for beginners. We got Raids DLC 1. This is for the Isle of Armor raids. Raids DLC 2. And then, last but not least, we have the trainer info. This is where little Timmy goes from rags to riches. Here's my original trainer name. Now, oftentimes, people who like to shiny hunt will like to know what's their SID and TID, because the TSV, the secret value, is basically determining what Pokemon is going to appear shiny in their game. This is what they use to determine, like, oh yeah, your SID is 3467, whatever. Money. You can only have 99999. So 9999999. Perfect. You got infinite money, little Timmy. Now these are watts. W is still for the watts. Yes, you can have a gajillion watts. 9999999. Watts, you can buy stuff in the game. Doesn't really matter. Sword, I really do not recommend changing this because you want to keep your file in line with the game you have. Language as well. Keep that. Adventure hours, yes, you can change that number of hours, minutes, time you have in the game, whatever. League card name, Franklin. League uniform ID. I recommend just not touching this stuff at all because, again, Game Freak has a way of banning people, and if they determine something's been altered, like drastically, for example, instead of a boy, I'm a girl, which obviously this has been blacked out because you can't change that. I would not recommend touching this stuff because you might get banned that way. Battle points. There you go, 9999. Egg hatching value. Oh, I hatched 1,387 eggs, whatever. You save that, of course, if you care. And yeah, that's pretty much it for just a beginner's guide. If you care about importing sets from Showdown, I don't have anything, but if you want to import Showdown sets, this will work too. And yeah, I don't think that's pretty much it for now. Encounter database, you don't really need to worry about that too much. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now in regards to legendary Pokemon such as Eternatus, let me go back to my box here. There you go. If you wanna change the value of certain Pokemon into shiny and all that, remember there are shiny locked Pokemon that cannot be shiny. The legendary Pokemon you catch in Gen 8 cannot be shiny. And I'm only talking about Zaishen, Eternatus, and Samazenta. Please do not change that because the Legality Checker is going to determine that it will not be okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And look at this stuff. I'm a demon. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. One more thing, if you like to clone Pokemon from scratch, the simple way you can do it is by, let's say, let's take a random Pokemon here, for example. Let's say you have this Ho-Ho. It came from different generation. Just clone it, just drag, boom, replace, and that Pokemon will be replaced permanently. If you made a mistake, just control. You can't even control Z. Haha. If you want to get rid of Pokemon from your box, you can just right-click, delete. If you don't like dragging stuff, you can obviously put right-click and set, right-click, set. Pokemon from different generations. I recommend if you want to put a move on a Pokemon, for example, this Ho-Ho has Curse. Curse is a move from Gen 2. If you are an expert of Met conditions and all that, you can put, you know, Pokemon Gold, Johto region, Pokeball, level 40, and all that good stuff. The OT, remember, you got to remember that the OT from previous generations have different numbers, and there was a cap on the number you can have in that region, or generation, I should say. Sometimes you will see this yellow like exclamation point. This basically means that Pokemon might have a move that it cannot use in battle. For example, this Zapdos has hidden ability, or not, sorry, it has hidden power, fire. Now obviously hidden power does not exist in Generation 8, and there are other moves specifically that did not make it in the game. I'll show you guys another one. For example, this one has hidden power, fire, good lord, everything has hidden power. For example, like this Salamence was mega, it used to be mega, because it had return. Of course, return's not in the game anymore, so you gotta replace it. You can replace it with, I don't know, you can put facade if you care, and boom, it's still legal. Pokemon with the yellow exclamation point means it's still legal, but you cannot use those moves in battle. So you just gotta be careful with that. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hopefully little Timmy and Big John is able to understand what I was talking about in this video. And yeah, you can go ahead and create your own Pokemon like that in 2021. See you guys. Peace. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Have a blessed weekend. See ya.